Previously on 1D10, the show!
Formed into the general shape of a tall woman. The flames formed into the general shape of a tall woman. The form began to speak with a booming voice. And who is this? The green lights say in one voice. The army of lights rushed to Locke, holding him securely and escorting him back to the tree. The tree itself split in half, revealing a glimmer in the air. The lights urged Locke into the glimmer, and the world around him changed. The trees in this new world were different. Wrong somehow, as if they were sentient themselves. The branches swayed in the breeze unnaturally, and Locke could have sworn that they turned to see his arrival. Not only had the trees changed, but the air itself felt heavy to Locke's lungs, the slight orange haze around him. The biggest change, however, were the fairies themselves. Far from the impish, tiny humanoid creatures that Locke saw in his realm, the creatures surrounding Locke were 6 feet tall with black bat-like wings, 6 eyes, limbs that were contorted in wrong directions, and rows of sharp teeth outlining their devilish glory. Famael turned to the hound and said, "All right, it's time to show us what you can do."
That's what this hound can do, you blackguards!
As the enemies fled through the forest, Ratail approached Locke. "Are you all right, hound? Can you speak? Can you understand me?"
You can call me Locke. Thanks for the assist.
Aw, and I was just getting used to hound. Well, not that anyone will remember in 5 minutes, but it's Kate.
Kate grinned broadly as her familiar, an owl, landed on her shoulder. She took out the crust of bread that Famael had offered her earlier and fed it happily to the owl.
Me? I'm my sister. I mean, this is my sister. I am a Snurkleton. Snurk. I'm Snurk.
And I'm Mavareth. My less eloquent companion is my brother, although he did get his name right.
Bring us the Dragonsbane steel, and the man known as Locke. And we can grant you the ability to leave this realm if you so choose. No reliance on the Seostri or the fairies. What do you say?
Deal. Oh, and also, I'm a bit strapped for cash at the moment, so maybe you can throw that in that you cover our tab as well?
Ain't no quarantine going to get our heroes down! This week on 1D10, the show!
3 months have passed since the events at the Lone King's castle. Our heroes have spent the time cleaning up the castle, restoring the wards that protected it, and worked to try to find a way to get Locke back from the Fairy Kingdom. Of course, with time comes changes. As time went on, our heroes found that they had some very important things that they needed to be doing. For example, Dave had grown closer to Smither Mackelson, and had found what he believed was someone who truly understood him. And to help Smither to find a new life and to find meaning in his place, Dave decided to take him back to his monastery, where he could also become a monk. In the meantime, Quills found himself more and more intrigued with the research that Rawlings had been doing about fairies, and has decided to spend his time assisting Rawlings with this research. Locke, of course, found himself among strange traveling companions in the fairy realm as he learned more and more about the intricacies of this society and the yellow fairies. Roscoe and Lord Cypher spent all of their time trying to find where the fairies had taken Locke, unaware that he had escaped, but determined to bring him back home. And that is where we begin our story. You have a group of 3 figures walking over the crest of a hill, overlooking a giant plain as far as the eyes can see. And many, many, many miles, probably a good 5 days' journey in the distance, you see a humongous city raising into the air. Now, this city is much different than anything that these figures had ever seen before in their life. It looked as if it was tiered in 4 separate tiers with a palace right at the top, and walls that were hundreds of feet for each of the individual levels. And in this group, we have 3 individuals. First of all, there is a mighty paladin named Lord Cypher.
Ho!
And there he is! You have a little rambunctious halfling named Roscoe.
Where are we going, Lord Cypher?
Ho!
And then the third figure is this small little creature, hooded with a walking stick, who turns around and says, "I believe that's where we're supposed to go, sirs." Pulls back his hood, and it is Scuzz Filthbucket.
Filthy Scuzz Bucket.
You think that's the place then, Scuzzbucket? Right over there?
Well, it's the only giant city in these plains, and that's what the informant had told us.
I mean, you do drive a good point. Well, shall we carry on then?
Well, of course, sirs. Of course. Please, let's go. As you walk along in the plains, you come across this large gated area with a very kind of peculiar sight, as there seem to be a group of figures kind of huddled down in the grass with their heads just barely poking up. A group of humans. But humans with long hair, dirty, and completely nude.
It appears as though we've wandered across a tribe of hippies. Perhaps we should engage with them and see if they can advise us on how to approach the local terrain.
Hippies, you say? Never heard of them. Well, I mean...
Well, they're called that because you can see their hips.
Oh, that does make sense.
Yes.
Most people keep their hips covered.
They do.
I think we should go give it a try. I mean, they're right over there. Let's go give them a little chat.
I mean, at your height, can you handle that nudity up close at your height? I'm concerned for you, friend.
I've seen far worse.
I'm just worried about you losing an eye, not what you've seen.
I'll keep my distance. I'm a bowman. I'm gonna grab my bow and knock it out.
You better hope one of them isn't a bowman. You know what I mean? Ho! Let's go! Onward!
Never a dull moment with you, Lord Cypher. And I'm just gonna kind of waddle along behind him, just close behind, but not, just so I could use him as a shield if needs be.
As you get closer to this group of humans, you realize that there's about 10 of them in total. There are 6 males and 4 females. And all of them look very skittish. And you realize that this gate, that this fence that they are in, this enclosed area, it's almost like they're in a pen of some sort. One of them notices you, sticks up their head, looks around for a second, and lets out the strangest screech you have ever heard.
My God, that's the strangest screech I've ever heard. You, penned humans, hippies as it were. Can you tell us a little bit about why you're here?
All of them start just running from you as far as they can towards the other side of the fence. And they all start making kind of this whinnying screech as they run.
It's almost as if they're cattle. A little bit of food, but for whom? I'm gonna look around, just kind of see if I can see maybe a house or a structure, like a barn. Because that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Can you roll a perception check, please?
I can and I will. Let's see. Let me remember how to do this.
First roll of the arc!
That one.
Woo!
How do you perceive?
16.
Okay, with a 16, you see that there is what looks to be a farmhouse about 200 yards off.
Right.
Listen, Roscoe, I can't in good faith, in my good faith as a paladin of the Lord Genericus, allow these humans to remain caged. I believe I should probably cut them free. What say you, friend?
Yeah, that seems about right. I mean, there's no need for them to be in this cage, this pin, and I don't want to meet whoever's pinning them. So, right then, I'll follow your lead.
Scuzzy, you want to weigh in before I choppity chop?
Well, I don't think that we should judge the culture here. We don't know what's going on.
Sounds like we're chopping down the fence.
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
chop down the fence.
There we go. Everybody's in agreement, so let's go ahead and take a mighty swing.
Sir,
Okay.
Mr. Cypher, sir, please. Please,
And as he's-
take a moment.
As he's taking a mighty swing, I'm going to play lookout and see if anybody's coming. I'm going to have my arrow knocked and ready to play defense for Lord Cypher.
Okay, can you go ahead and roll a strength check?
There we go. Boom, shakalaka.
Okay.
A 12. Okay. With a 12, your sword comes down and you cut through. There's about 6 different layers of wire, and you're able to get through 3 of them. And the poles on the sides of that wire do start to bow in a little bit.
All right, well, looks like it's time for another swing.
9, your sword just goes down and then comically kind of just bounces off of it.
Well, Roscoe, I'm going to take one more shot at this, but it appears that my time of low-level adventuring with minimal conflict, not worthy of podcasting, has left me weak. Let's try one more shot at this and see what happens.
With a 19 and a mighty swing, you get all the way through all of the wires, and they pop. And these humanoid creatures just start going wild, and the screeching gets louder as they start running towards the opening that you created.
There you are. See, I knew you could do it. Just a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of pushing along. You got this.
Maybe we should move away. They do look a little aggressive.
Can you roll a dexterity save, please? Both.
This is a save, not a check, right?
Yes.
Boom, 25.
Okay.
19 for good old Cypher.
All right, and with that, you both are able to jump out of the way. But you notice that these humans aren't quite normal. Their feet almost look cloven in a way, as they whinny as they run past you at superhuman speeds and out into the plains. In the meantime, you see coming out of the farmhouse in the distance a small figure that starts to yell, What are you doing? What are you doing? My centaurs! Bring me back my centaurs!
I feel like we did a good thing, Lord Cypher.
I feel like we did a good thing as well. Perhaps this local hillbilly needs a little formal education on how we treat other people.
I think you're just the man to give him that education.
What say you, filthy scuzzbucket?
I said that
On
you
we
should have
go.
listened
Sounds
to
good.
me.
Let's go and check it out.
Oh, right behind you.
We've been together for months now, Cypher. I thought that you would sort of respect me just slightly at this point.
It's hard to respect somebody named Scuzzbucket. I mean, you gotta be honest, right?
Really your parents' fault. Don't blame me for
Actually,
your parents' missteps.
Yeah, don't blame Lord Cypher now.
Thank you, Roscoe. Roscoe's got my back. Maybe I'd respect you more if you had my back a little bit.
Us Scuzzbuckets are a noble people, I will have you know. For centuries we have guarded the Gwyn family.
That'll work out for you.
Oh my gosh.
Previously on 1D10 the show! It did not go well.
Look, the yokel approaches. We'll hash this out later. Let's engage with this local folk.
So this creature approaches you, and he's definitely dressed up, kind of, like your typical farmer, overalls, kind of a plaid shirt, and a nice big hat. But this creature is unlike anything that you have ever seen before. It is kind of a darkish brown color with some gray hues in its skin, and all of its limbs are pointed and almost look like they're barbed in different ways with little spikes coming out at random angles. And it approaches you with one eye, and it goes, "Why did you do that to my centaurs? What are you, and why are you wearing clothes?"
Listen, I'm not sure what passes for a centaur here, but where I'm from, centaurs have 4 feet. The rear of an equine sort of creature. Those look like run-of-the-mill hippies.
I'd have to say he's right. They look like hippies.
Ah, I see. You must come from the elven realm, then. We haven't had visitors like you in, thousands of years.
Well, hurrah for good visitors, right? Yay.
Yeah, let me just put this away. I'm going to put my bow away, and I'm going to pull out my hand. My name's Roscoe. Nice to meet you. I'm a visitor from the elven realm. No?
He just looks at your hand.
Right then.
For a second, a little bit confused. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't quite get what you're doing.
No worries. I was just testing the air between us. Yep, feels like normal air. And I'm gonna turn around and just kind of sheepishly stand aside.
So, what exactly kind of creatures are y'all?
Human.
Well, he's a human. I'm a halfling. A hobbit.
Well, you both kind of look like my centaurs that you let free, and that's why I was a little bit confused why you're wearing clothes. I mean, centaurs don't exactly go around wearing clothes, and they don't go around running free. They don't have the brains to do that. Maybe where you're from, they might be a little smarter, but here,
Listen, friend. If you feel like it's necessary to take my clothes off of me and put me in a pen, perhaps you should give it a shot. Otherwise, I'd say perhaps you were in the wrong, caging some individuals that look like me. What do you say?
Can you roll an intimidation check?
Wow.
19. I mean no disrespect, sir. I mean, obviously, you are not a centaur, you are a human. Well, and I get that now, but you have to understand, I'm not accustomed to seeing creatures like you looking like you are, all wearing clothes and speaking and whatnot.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't come in forcing my beliefs on your local culture. It's just the way of my religion. But,
That's what I was trying to tell you, sir.
If you'd have said something, if you'd have spoken up one time while we were coming here, filthy scuzzbucket, maybe we could have avoided this faux pas.
Just once, that's all we need. We just ask that you just, when you have a thought, say it. That's all you need to do.
Roscoe does his thing, I do mine. What do you do?
I mean, he did do that.
I don't know anymore, sirs. I don't.
We don't have time for this. Listen, local friend, tell us, what are you? Tell who, I don't know, I'm not familiar with what you are.
I'm a brownie. Can't you tell?
Brownie?
Well, yes. Ain't you never seen a brownie before?
Not like you. Though my mum did talk about special brownies. They got a little special ingredient, she says, makes her very happy. Very excited, a little bit relaxed. But
that was a hell of an adventure, Roscoe. I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember my mum sent me brownies, and you got to taste some, and it was a great time. But
it was.
They didn't look like a person, not like this anyway.
I'm not going to taste him, that's for sure.
I mean, I might give it a try if you let me, but...
Well, when in Rome, right?
I think I better back up here a second, though. What are y'all actually doing here? How did you get here into our realm, into our society?
Magic, mostly.
Wasn't it? Yeah. What didn't you do a thing with the bandolier and the blink of the naked molehound?
I believe it's the ear of the thing I slayed before. Yeah,
there it is. See, here it is. I'm gonna point at it on his bandolier.
I'm no scientist.
this thing did something shiny and we jumped through the portal looking for
That's
our
right.
friend.
Don't question us.
All right. So where is your friend supposed to be?
That's a good question.
We're hoping in yon towering city.
Over there.
Now, if y'all are trying to go to Ballastia, then y'all are gonna need some help.
I mean, it's just right over there. We can walk. We've been walking for ages.
Yeah, we could have used help before now, but now we're very close. We're good, I think.
All right. What's your friend? Tell me about your friend. What's his name?
His name's Luck.
And why is he here?
That's a good question.
We're
Let's
concerned
think.
for his safety.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had dealings with the fairies, the purple ones and the green ones, and we think one of them might have took him and brought him here. So we came to find him.
It comes to my mind that if we're a little fuzzy on the exposition, I bet Scuzz Filth Bucket knows a little more about this than we do. Remind everyone, would you, Filth?
Yes, of course I do. You see, our friend Locke, he was accused of killing the Green King, and so the fairies they brought him here, and I believe that he has stood trial or something of the matter. I had a connection who told me that he is imprisoned in that palace.
That's basically, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Yep, that is.
Jim kind of nods and closes his one big eye for a second, and then opens it again and said, "Sounds like y'all are going to need some help from maybe some more seedy creatures if y'all are trying to get into the palace."
All right.
And he takes out a little piece of paper, and he quickly starts writing a little note out, and then he folds it into an origami crane, whispers into it, and then the crane takes off like an actual crane and flies toward the city.
Well, would you care to tell us what just occurred?
I'm getting you some help from, well, you know, the crane.
Should we have went with the crane?
Yeah, do we need to follow it, or do we just wait here? Or?
Oh, trust me, the crane will find you. He will find you.
So, is he like an actual crane? Like, with feathers and a long neck and legs? Like a bird?
You have a long way to go, sir. You have a long way to go.
Well, I apologize for setting loose your centaurs. I felt like you were caging humans. I don't want to keep you any longer, stranger, but I apologize.
Could you help me maybe gather them up? I mean, I did just give you this, you know, a nice setup with the crane there. He owes me a favor, and I think that he's going to be able to help you guys out.
I feel like my apology was adequate.
All right, and from there, let's go ahead. Woo! Okay. Hello there, my lovelies. This is Brady. I'm so excited to finally be back. I mean, you know, the world has gone through an apocalypse and all that, and so yeah, it of course affected us and our schedules and trying to get things arranged, but I'm glad that we are back up and running for you with this new arc. Of course, I do want to welcome, we have a couple of new actors, a couple of new players in our group. We have Ricky Ferlin, who is playing Snurk, and playing his sister Mavareth is, of course, Megan Sticht, who, you know, these two are two of just my favorite people in the world. I'm so glad that they are a part of this now. And you may have noticed that we did lose two of our players from last season. Blake and Chase are tackling some bigger things on their end, and so, you know, it happens, and who knows, we may see Dave and Quills return at some point in the future. I did want to give a shout out to a few of our patrons. as we are recording this. Both James and Jeremy Crane have been huge supporters of our podcast for quite a while now, and so I, of course, had to name a few characters after them in this arc. We have Jim the Farmer, named after James, and, of course, the Crane, the mysterious crime boss, is named after Jeremy Crane. And so congrats, and you know what? Let's just get right back into the episode, why don't we? All right, now let's go ahead and we're going to actually move on to Locke and Kate. This is taking place about 2 months before the last scene. So this is about a month after you traveled into the fairy realm and were rescued by Kate and this group of yellow fairies led by Rate-Il. And now the two of you are with Rate-Il and you're standing before what are the Council of the Yellow Fairies. You are in this large hut where it's completely pitch dark except for a small fire and 6 sets of 6 glowing eyes, glowing this odd orange color.
I've also got a weasel around my neck. Just, you know.
Beautiful.
It's like a scarf.
Rate-Il is standing before the council. And he says, "There is strange dealings going on in Ballastia, and it seems that the Queen is still insisting that she has this one in custody. She says that he is the one who killed the king. And that leads to an interesting dynamic with the Greens." The council, the eyes, all 6 groups of 6 eyes kind of focus in on him and glare a little bit. And you hear one voice come out. Why did you bring him here to us? This thing, this new hound.
So, not a hound. My name's Locke. But, I understand. I know I've been here for a little while, and you guys have this weird concept about humans that are actually, you think they're something else, like animals. But where I come from, we are actually the dominant species. So, just get that through your head real fast. I'm not one of your pets. I'm here because you asked me to be here. So, yeah, let's just get that out of the way right now.
This one speaks.
Wow, this one's observant.
Hey guys, I've been speaking for like years, and you just never pay attention to me.
Silence, hound.
My weasel squeaks.
So tell us, Rate-Il, what do you believe we can do with this one? Well, he seems to be ready to throw things into chaos. If the Queen is using this one to say that the king's murderer is found, but he is not there, we have an opportunity, I think. Go on. Well, he is here with us. Once the Greens see that the Queen has lied, then we will have our opportunity. And is this one willing to help us?
Well, I mean, if it's worth my while, I'm not just gonna do it because you asked nicely. But some compensation would be in order.
I'm cleaning dirt out from under my nails.
What did you have in mind?
Well, first I have to know specifically what you want me to do. I am a man of many skills, but I'm not sure exactly what skill you're wanting from me, or what is it that you want from me, and then I can put a price tag on it.
First, we must know. Did you kill him?
No, I did not. Actually, we know who killed him. Some wizard guy ended up killing him that served the queen. There's, lots of drama there. But, no, I did not.
Well, we could use that warrior instead.
Then the council just starts kind of whispering between themselves.
All right. Locke will pull his gun out and shoot it up in the air.
And all that gets all of their attention, and they all just kind of straighten up and look at you strangely.
And what is that?
Oh, this is, my boomstick. Sorry, I had to. I couldn't resist. No, this is what from where I come from, this is called a gun, or, many other names. But essentially, it's an object that propels metal from it at high speeds to hurt people.
So as he says this, I'm going to cast this spell also into the air, Eldritch Blast. And I'll cast it like 7 times and look very non-impressed by his gun.
Yay! I love it.
Yeah, and exactly. It makes big noises like my friend over here is doing. So it's a good distraction, but this is a very unique skill that very few people, even in where I come from, have the ability to make these weapons and or the ammunition that is required to use them.
I'm going to say ammunition, and I'll cast this a couple more times.
That's right. You keep going, girl.
Okay, and that spell is Eldritch Blast.
Mm-hmm. It's a cantrip, so I can cast it at will.
He's beautiful, making firework noises. Pew pew pew.
I can also cast this spell, which I can literally make fireworks appear. I'll do that a couple times too.
Prestidigitation.
You gotta tell the listeners what you're casting. They don't know what you're casting.
It's prestidigitation. It's a shower of sparks. Prestidigitation, you can basically make an illusion that can fit in your hand. You can also make a weird smell or like musical notes, or you can also clean stuff up. It does a ton of little things. You can just look it up. But in this case, I'm making like little teeny fireworks appear that are no bigger than the size of a fist.
So her trick's really cool, but my trick actually kills people. So just as got to put that out there too.
All right, I'll cast the Eldritch Blast at his face.
At Locke's face.
At my face.
And looking very unimpressed still.
Okay, so I guess that you have to do a stealth save DC against what? What does he have to do?
It's 13. But I did a ranged, or I did an attack roll, and so it's 1d10 force damage, but I do have to hit him with that 12.
You missed.
Okay, so I missed, but I'll be like, then I'll say to him, they're not going to be impressed by your trinkets.
And I'll just lean over to her. Yeah, but if we want to get out of this situation without them, killing us, then we got to make ourselves useful at this point.
I've been making myself useful for years, yo.
No, you've been making yourself a slave and a dog, yo.
I'm still alive, aren't I, yo?
I mean, valid point, but, some would say, dying would be better than, living the way you have.
Some would say that surviving this realm, you should take some advice from an expert, yo.
Or I can just shoot my way out, and I'll be perfectly fine.
Well, good luck with that. I will sit back and watch that show.
Ratael just kind of gently pushes the two of you apart and walks between you to address the council and goes, "Don't worry, we won't count on him to attack, just to be seen in the city and be known that he is not imprisoned."
Oh, well, I could do that really easy.
The council starts speaking amongst themselves.
And what compensation do you desire?
10,000 gold and her freedom.
I look up at that, not actually believing that it would ever happen, but being like, that's an interesting choice. Look on my face.
So the council starts whispering amongst themselves again, and then after a good 2 minutes of discussion amongst themselves, they say,
If you can get us the city, give us the opportunity to seize it for ourselves. The hound shall have her freedom.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. So, you want me to help you seize the city? Oh, no, your price just went up, buddy. I thought I just had to be seen in the city. You know, this pretty face goes at a price, but if you need me to, you know, essentially set up a coup for you to seize the city, that's gonna cost you a whole lot more.
And then Ratael says, the kind of takes you aside and says, "The council does not understand you like I do. They do not think that you are sentient, that you have a mind of your own. They will not agree to anything more than what they have already given you."
Told ya!
So even though I'm talking and reasoning for myself, they still won't believe it, huh?
They will not.
What if I kill one of them?
Good luck.
Yeah, well, just figured it'd be a question.
They are different than you may expect. Things are much stranger in this realm than you are used to in yours, I think.
Well, I believe that. That's for sure. All right. Okay. So they won't give me my money. Okay. All right. I turn back to the council. Okay. So if you won't give me money, in order to stage this coup for you, I will need resources in order to create more weapons and ammunition to allow myself and whoever is joining me the ability to set up this coup for you.
They start whispering to each other.
Ratael, you can get this one what he desires in Ballastia, correct?
Ratael looks around for a second and says, "I do have my connections, yes."
Do it.
You're welcome.
And out of character, I'm sorry I tried to shoot you, but
No, that's okay. That makes things interesting. If you would have hit me, I would have shot you back. So fair is fair.
no, you wouldn't have.
I didn't exactly have I didn't have a map prepared for the hut of the council's tent. I mean, you know.
You would have shot back at me, but shot me back. That's a different story.
Oh, there's a dynamic going on here. You
Just
two
saying.
rascals.
Will they? Won't they?
That's going to be the season's question.
I guess the question is Kate hot?
She's like 45, but like in half-elf years, so she's actually like 90-something.
So you're saying a 45-year-old can't be hot?
I don't know how it
I
translates
got an
to
expiration date, 5 years. Ugh.
Whoa,
I think we're all
Guys,
around
we
that
don't even have-
expiration date.
We don't even have Chase and Blake this season. I don't think that we can have this discussion.
I know the last season started the exact same way.
Hot potatoes.
Hot potato.
I miss the hot potatoes.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Anyway,
Kate may or may not be hot, but she's got baggage, so
That can be hot.
depends on what you're into, I guess.
Depends on what you're into.
All right, and now we open the scene at the Wounded Beast. It's this little tavern inside the UFS, the Uncategorized Fae Societies section of Ballastia. And in this tavern, that's above a florist's shop, there are two figures, a brother and a sister, sitting at a table in the corner as a little tiny creature brings them 3 glasses of ale and plops them down on the table. And says, "So, have you had anyone say anything about, some leads? Anyone wanting to help you?"
Leads. You know what? I'm gonna get a drink before this. I'm gonna go
That
down and
sounds
take
rather nebulous.
taking a big old drink of my ale. Mav,
Orin the ogre, this tiny little creature, kind of just dives into his glass, face first, and is swimming around in the ale as he's drinking it.
is he gonna be okay? Mav, I think this ale is puddle water. There's nothing good about it. It tastes like the puddle water outside.
I think the puddle water would taste better, bro.
Better? Hi. Okay, look, now, don't tell him, because we want him to think that we're doing a good job here. But I haven't been able to get anybody. Nobody's responding to my advances. Have you been able to get anyone, Mav? Anyone at all?
I've seen your advances, I know why.
No. Okay, excuse me. My advances
It's the same reason you
are-
couldn't get a girl back home.
Okay, that's absolutely not even remotely close to what we're talking about here, Mav. Why do you got to bring that up?
Because I'm your sister, it's my job.
It's because I'm short and we both know it. They like tall boys. Women like tall men.
Alright, keep telling yourself that.
But, well, look at you! You are dating Mr. High and Mighty, and by high, I don't mean on the grass. I mean in the sky, because he was at least 8 feet tall.
Well, I guess I attract that kind of thing. My advances are better than yours. Except in this case. I haven't found anyone either.
Okay, so we're on even ground, sis.
In the meantime, Orin has somehow finished his glass of ale and is just kind of laying at the bottom of the glass and lets out a large belch, which sounds very interesting given the acoustics of the glass around him.
Now, Mav, I don't want to, bring physics into this, but I'm pretty sure that he just drank more ale than the actual size of his body.
That's what it appears like to me, bruh.
Alright, must be drunk then. I think it's safe to tell him what's going on.
Alright, you first.
Orin, how drunk are you, my friend?
He starts kind of rocking back and forth, trying to get off of his back. And he goes, "I'm pretty much out of it."
Oh, that's great to hear. Then I'm sure you won't mind us telling you that we haven't found a blasted soul. Not a one!
And then he rocks until the glass actually tips over and he rolls out. And then looks at you kind of confusedly and is like, "No one, no prospects at all."
Not a one.
People are very hard to, convince to this sort of thing. You'd be surprised.
I mean, especially with our background.
Your background, don't drag me into this.
Well, we're both the same type of people, is what I'm saying.
Well, fine. Now look. We'll find people, that's for sure. You can count on us. You can always count on the dynamic duo who we work so well together, as you can see. Right, sis?
Yes. Definitely.
Orin just kind of starts waving his hand in front of his face and goes,
Promises, promises, promises. Look, the crane has a good deal for you. He's found someone who may be willing to help.
Wait, the crane? Like, with feathers and a long neck?
And with the feet?
The crane, you know, the one he's like the bird, it's like the crane, you know?
Really long
Yeah.
beak.
And the feathers and the long neck.
Look, he's found creatures from the elven realms. He apparently knows this lock. Maybe they can help you. I don't know.
Mav, I think this might be our chance. Do you think we should take him up on it?
I mean, Elven Realm, not so sure about that, but we could try.
I've heard they stink.
In the meantime, Orin begins to snore loudly.
He snores worse than you, bro.
Alright, you know what? Okay, we need to get that. I'm gonna pick up my glass of ale and just dump it on Orin.
Okay, I'm up.
Orin, how are you?
Oh,
The
what? What are you
crane?
talking about?
The crane. The bird?
Oh, the crane. Yeah. Let me send a message to him in the morning. And then he just kind of passes back out.
Alright, Mav, what do you say I slip Orin Thokenshield here in my pocket and we go out and try and find the crane ourselves?
I mean, does he look like a bird? You know what he is to look at?
I have no idea. He said the bird. Feathers? Long neck? Sure.
Well, I know, but did he really mean it literally or not?
I'll take my chances. And I'm gonna scoop Orin up and just shove him in my bag.
Beautiful. And now we go back to Roscoe and Lord Cypher. So, the two of you and Scuzz Filthbucket, after several days' journey, have finally made it to the city wall. And there you do see there's an entrance, and then it seems like a couple miles down the wall, as the wall turns, there seems to be another entrance. And if you look in the other direction, the same thing. It's almost as if this city is in a shape with different entrances for different parts of the city. As you look up at it, the city itself, you can tell, is also in different sections, and they all look a little bit distinct from each other. The section that you are in front of now looks very regal. It looks very well kept. But as you look to the left, you see a section that looks as if it has been razed to the ground. There's just ruins in place of buildings. And as you look to the right, it's a very odd sight as you see kind of cobbled together homes that raise a lot higher, and just seems like over the years they had been built one on top of another. And they kept on going up in haphazard fashion, and, probably definitely not safe.
All right, Roscoe, it's time we get in this town, and I feel like you might be the most well-equipped to decide which entrance we should take. Because, I'll survive anything, but you're fragile.
I think I can handle it, but let's see. I mean, why not just go straight ahead? It looks the nicest of the three entrances we're looking at.
All right, sounds good to me. Filth, any thoughts?
Well,
On we go, into the door. Here we go.
I hate my life.
Oh, that's not nice. You got a great life. Your name's Filth Scudsbucket. What could be better?
You are the third most important member of this adventuring party.
My name is Scuzz Filthbucket.
Filth Scudsbucket, we know.
Filth Scudsbucket. Let's just go. I promise, His Highness, that I would be here for you in your adventure. I know that Locke helped us out at a very hard time, and it is only my responsibility to make sure that he is okay, and that I help you, as you also helped us during that rough time.
Scuzz, before we go in, I have to let you know. I like to give you a hard time, but I value you as a companion, and I wouldn't allow anything to happen to you.
He's right. You're our friend to beat up. Anybody else who tries it, they get one of these. I'm gonna point at my arrows. We value you, Scuzz.
Don't just give them an arrow. Perhaps we should. Oh, I get it. You're going to fight them.
I don't get close. Like you said, I'm squishy.
I thought you were going to gift them an arrow. I thought that would be to counter to what we should do.
That's absolutely right. I mean, didn't think about that. Maybe I should just say,
did. I didn't. I
shoot them in the
apologize.
face.
That's why you're here.
I'll shoot them in the face.
Right in the face hole.
All right, let's head in then.
Roscoe, do you want to go in front? I want to talk to Cypher for a moment about something.
No worries. Secrets don't make friends, but that's all right. And I'm just gonna walk ahead, and I'm gonna prepare some spells as we get going.
Lord Cypher, there's something I've been meaning to talk to you about. Now, I know I'm usually just the butt of your jokes, but I'm also observant. And I've been noticing your actions have been little erratic lately. Is everything okay?
Listen, I'm operating on the divine right of Genericus. You may or may not remember this, but I'm the highest ranking and only paladin of the Church of Genericus. What I do is like a conduit. The will of the Lord erupting through me. The things that I'm doing that seem erratic to you make perfect sense in the will of He who watches over all of us.
But sir, I've noticed the sleepwalking. I've noticed the attacks on random animals. I've noticed that there's something that is different about you, sir. I know what you were like when I first met you, and as time goes on, these issues seem to be getting worse.
Yes, well, perhaps it's just, I'm becoming closer to He who influences me, and so some of my actions may not be my own. Surely that's the most plausible and obvious explanation.
You ate a raw squirrel!
Well, it was driving me nuts. Through the door we go.
All right, just watch yourself, will you?
All right, your concerns are noted, but I feel like they're unnecessary.
All right, sir. Sir, thank you.
As you guys enter into this entrance, you see it's this large white room with these kind of black archways set up throughout it. And there seems to be just dozens of these archways. And there is at this desk this little he looks like a dwarf, but you don't quite know. I mean, things haven't exactly met your expectations as you've been in this strange fairy realm. Sitting at a desk, writing something down on a piece of paper, and then kind of getting a little bit upset with it, and ripping the paper up, and then getting out another piece of paper, and then starting to write again.
All right, I'm just gonna walk on up to him. Just kind of peer over the counter or the desk and be... Right then, do we just head on through? Do we need to check in?
I'm sorry, I didn't notice you there. Hi. Wait, are you... Whoa. Are you from the Elven realm?
That's what they tell me. Not sure what that means. I'm not an elf. I'm a hobbit, halfling. But they say I'm from the... Maybe?
There's no protocol for this. And he starts, rifling through a bunch of papers, trying to read furiously.
Right then. Well, while you do that, I'm just gonna head on inside. I got some business to take care of. Got a friend, got to find. And these guys are with me.
I don't think that will work for you very well.
I'm gonna put my hands behind my head and start walking towards the door. Just nonchalantly.
Now, you notice... Will you do a perception check for me, please?
Because we all know I'm very good at this. I'm not very good at this. Perception. As I get a 20. Not natural.
beautiful. All right, and at the same time, Lord Cypher rolled a 7. So, as you look around, Roscoe, you notice that there isn't a door. There are just these archways around this giant room.
I'm gonna look at the archways. Do they have any words or anything above them, or the kind of like exit or hey, enter over here?
They have letters and numbers on them.
All right, so I'm gonna look for one that starts with R.
There is not one that starts with R.
Then let's try B.
Nope, no B's.
All right then. Well, let's see. Right, I'm gonna turn back around nonchalantly and be like, "Did you finish with your protocol? I go to find my entrance."
Well, I mean, technically, we have a section of the city that's just meant for you, but no one's been there for probably thousands of years. I mean, the Elven realm. Let me take a step back.
And he just kind of strains his back and tries to look very official.
Welcome to Ballastia!
Oh.
And little lights start flashing around him, and this corny music starts playing in the background.
Right.
The kingdom where all are welcome. Well, to certain parts of it, at least. I mean, we can't just let everybody go wherever they want, you know? But we are so glad to have you here.
I'm gonna look at him
noble
quizzically.
Visitors.
Didn't seem very sincere. You don't rehearse much, do you?
Okay, let me just tell you a little bit about how this works. The Kingdom of Ballastia is separated out into different sections, and different people from different areas will have magical permission to go into these areas. Well, only if we give them such permission. For example.
And he points up at one arch that says UFS1.
This is a doorway to uncategorized Fae Society's level 1. Now, the first level is the level for visitors. You know, like yourselves, I guess. Which means I can actually give you permission to go there.
Well,
However,
He points over to one that has P3.
this is for the purples, and it's level 3, which is for, you know, administration and whatnot. And so there's no way I can let you up there.
that's where I want to go. I need to go there. That's the
Yes,
place
if
I
we
need to
can't
be.
go there, that's exactly where we'd like to go. Let us go there.
Oh, if only I had the authorizations. But alas, I do not.
I feel like you do. You just won't give it to us because we're from the Elven realm. You're racist.
Oh, no. You don't understand. Not even I have the permissions to go there.
Oh, doesn't that make you mad? Why don't you tell him to shove off and go walk on through? It looks
It
like an
makes me
archway. Let's
mad.
just head
We
on
just
through.
got here.
Do you want to see what happens when I walk through?
Yes.
Walks over and just walks straight through the arch, and nothing happens.
Nothing.
Oh.
Nothing happens. Because I don't have permissions. It's your magical passport.
You know, puts his hands above his head and kind of makes this wide arch, and a rainbow trails it.
It's magic.
I can do magics. I'm gonna whisper to Lord Cypher. I was kind of hoping he'd get hurt trying to go through the doorway there, but that's good to know.
Which door can we go through then? Point to the one we can walk through.
Well, I mean, technically, this was what I was trying to find, but I think technically I can give you permission for every level 1 and
No, I'd say you should just do it.
And I can give you level 2 in the Elven Kingdom section.
And he points over to an arch that has E2 written above it.
Ooh, E2.
What's an E2?
Yeah, what's an E2?
What's
Tell
it look
us.
like? Is it
Yeah, let us
fancy?
know.
Well, that's the residential area for those from the Elven Kingdom, such as yourselves. Though I must inform you that no one has actually been to the residential area in millennia. No one actually lives there. I mean, it's for people from the Elven realm. For people like you, and we don't have any people like you, really.
I feel like there's got to be somebody like us here. We've got a friend named Locke. He should be around here somewhere.
He's similar to us, but less dangerous and less cool.
Locke?
He does have a way with the ladies.
The king killer?
Well, that's
no,
a misunderstanding. That's not...
Yeah, he didn't kill no king. He is dangerous, but his bark's a little bit worse than his bite. He sure likes to shoot his boomstick, but that's about it. Just shoots it in the sky. Bang, bang! Gets people's attention.
Reckless abandon he is with that boomstick.
It truly is. I mean, can't be just shooting it willy-nilly.
Yeah, just one moment.
And he goes and he opens up his desk and he pulls out this little paper origami crane. He opens it up.
Oh, there it is.
For a second, looks at the three of you, and then folds it back into the crane and hands it to you and says,
"Is that from Brownie?" And I'm gonna do a circle around my eyes.
It says conspiratorially,
I never gave you this.
But you just did. We watched you do it.
I'm holding it in my hand right here. Sky's bucket, you saw it. He gave it to us, right?
No. I didn't really give it to you, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink.
There's something in your eye.
Notice that I'm winking to you.
Oh, hello. But I'm not. That's not an interest I have.
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I like
We're not
girls.
judging you, but yeah.
No, we don't swing that way. I mean, Lord Cypher can get any lady he wants in the Elven realm.
That's right, and possibly in any other realm. Maybe you should let me into another E2 level and let me check it out.
Let's give it a try. But alright, I'll hold on to this thing you didn't give me and put it in my pocket so it looks like you didn't give it to me.
You're not going to look at it? You're not going to see what
Hey, you should look at it.
Oh, I mean, I'm not going to put it in my pocket. I'm going to give it a gander.
Yeah.
Let's just take a look here. Let's see.
Yeah.
There it is. Right then.
And it's in kind of this messy handwriting, but written on there it says, "For strange visitors seeking Locke King Killer."
Four. I'm going to count myself. 1, 2. I'm going to point at Lord Cypher. 3.
Should we do a spelling check?
Where's number 4?
The dwarf-looking creature kind of nudges you.
Look at the other side.
I'll flip it over.
Ooh, it has a back.
And there it says, "Seek the twins at the wounded beast."
Ooh. Where do we find the wounded beast?
Well, that would be in UFS 1. The guests and visitor services in level 1 of the Uncategorized Fae Society.
Sure it's not in P3? I feel like that's what it'd be.
I'm sure.
That seems to be the best
I'm
place
sure.
for it.
I know this very well. I know what I'm doing.
Alright. If that's what you think, okay. Well, guess we'll go through the USF 3, 1.
UFS. UF.
That's what I said.
1.
And he walks up to you. "One moment." And he takes his finger and he starts tracing kind of this weird sigil-looking thing onto your forehead. And it glows a bright red and then disappears.
All right, your passport is set.
And then he walks over to Cypher.
I can't quite reach.
I'll come down for you. Just don't try anything. I know it's going to be tempting.
And he draws the same symbol on you and on Scuzz and says,
And welcome to Ballastia. Enjoy your stay.
and then goes back to his desk and sits down and starts writing on his papers again, getting frustrated, tearing one up, tossing the torn up piece of paper behind him, and then pulls out another piece of paper.
Well, there you are. That seemed a lot more sincere there. Here we are. Let's go through, I guess.
Onward and upward.
Hey, Scuzz, you want to go first?
Yes, says. And as he walks through the archway, suddenly he just disappears. He is no longer there.
I was secretly hoping he'd get hurt, but I mean,
I mean, he
They just can't be
disappeared.
chooses.
That's the second best outcome, right?
And then I'll walk through.
I follow him through.
Oh goodness, I hope that our heroes are wearing masks as they go into the city, you know. Social distancing and whatnot. Let's see what happens next week on 1D10, the show